Join me today as I upcycle a thrifted piece of knitwear that I got from the charity shop with some gorgeous Kantha stitched applique around the neck. Hello guys, this is a bit of a new video. I'm doing a bit of freehand filming here because I need to, it's really dark here now and I wanted to film this earlier on but it's too late in the day. I've got these Kantha pieces here. And I've been wanting to use them to do a bit of upcycling on some of my clothes. I've got this lovely jumper that I picked up in the charity shop the other day. It's a really nice, I don't know if you can see it with the light, it's a lilac sort of tweedy Donegal yarn, and it's got really beautiful colours sort of flecked throughout. This is probably not the sort of thing that I would normally have picked up just because it's quite short in the body. I'm not sure you can really get that from here. And it said it was a size 12 and I'm definitely not a size 12. But I held it up to me and I was like, do you know what? This might work. I really like the colour and the yarn and I can probably do a bit of upcycling on it to make it a bit more interesting. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to make... I'm contemplating cutting it down the middle to make it into a cardigan. I have tried it on already and it does fit me, but it's just it's kind of shorter than I would normally wear. But I've got these gorgeous pieces of Kantha Quilt offcuts, and what I'm thinking, because some of these are quite lilac-y, sorry you can probably hear my dog in the background, is making some little collar pieces like this, kind of scalloped to go around the collar. Just cut them out and then sew them on. Like I say, if I do the bit down the middle where I make it into a cardigan, I think what I'll do is maybe give it a bit of a placket binding. In this light, this colour really doesn't look like it goes, but it really is nice. It's kind of a blue and lilac. It's a Liberty Tana Lawn Wilshire Berry print. I do also have this one which has got lilac in, but it's, I think if I'm going to use these Kantha pieces it's not really going to go. This one does actually look really nice, even though in this footage at the moment you can't really tell. I've also got this one which again it's not quite the right sort of shade, so I'm not sure. I think I definitely want to put a scalloped collar around the edge of this. It goes really nicely actually with the Liberty Tana Lawn dress that I've just been making. I'm almost finished, I just need to do the hem. But it was in the fabric that I picked up for my birthday. If you saw my Liberty vlog you would have seen it. So yeah, that's my thoughts at the moment, so I'm sure you will see in the next step what I've decided to do. I'd like to kind of show you me cutting out and making all the bits, so I think what I'll do is I'll leave it for there and then I will hope for a better bit of daylight maybe tomorrow or the next day. See you in a minute. Hello guys, I'm just going to show you this little project that I want to work on. It's a bit of an upcycle of a jumper that I found. I found this in a charity shop last week and it's a really beautiful like tweed. It's got a lilac base to it but it's got lots of different colours within it. It's got like flecks of purple, blue, orange, like a corally colour, white, and it's got this really lovely pointel stitch. It's quite short in the body but I really loved the yarn, and I've got these patches here of kind of offcuts of Kantha Quilt, and I really wanted to upcycle this top, so I'm going to do some decoration around the neck. I did think about cutting it down the middle to make it more into a cardigan, because I am more of a cardigan person, and this is it's quite a short crop jumper and I really don't like wearing crop things, so I was considering like cutting down here and then maybe using one of these Liberty Tana Lawn fabrics to create a binding like on the placket. I don't know how well this is coming up in the video, but this one is the one that looks the best with it. It's like a really lovely, like purple and blue, shades of blue. It's the Wiltshire Berry print from Liberty. These have also got lilac in, but I don't think they're quite right. That one would look nice actually. That one would look really nice, but because I want to use the Kantha Quilt pieces, and trying to pull on these lilac-y elements like here and like here and here, I feel that this one may go better. So that is one little dilemma I've got, whether to turn it into a cardigan or whether to turn it into, just keep it as a jumper and wear it over dresses and things like that. It's also, you can tell it's obviously hand knitted. It's a little bit twisted on the, when you try and lie it flat. I don't know if you can see here, I've sort of found the middle of the front neck and back neck, and I've found the middle of the hem. But when you look at the rows of stitching, they kind of like go off like this a little bit, which really bothers me. And I feel like if I make a placket there, I think it's gonna kind of make the, you know, the stitching really obvious that it's not straight. So I think I may just keep it as a jumper for now. So what I'm going to do is create a little template for like a collar that I'm going to stitch down onto the neckline. So I'm going to cut out some shapes and place them around here, and then I'm going to stitch them down. So I thought I'd sort of show you what I'm doing. I've just found a bit of card. This is just from a notebook, a piece that was on the front, but I don't need anything special really. It's just to create the shape. So let's go here. So if you say, I'm going to just using a little glass that I've got, vintage glass. You could use a compass or a protractor or whatever you fancy, and then I'm just going to draw around that. And that's going to be my template. So I'll just cut that out. I've been wanting to do some upcycling of some of my clothes for quite a while, and it's a really nice way to, if you've got things that are, you know, they're a little bit marked, if they've got like a stain on there that won't come out, or if they're, particularly if it's your knitted garments, you can often get like moth bitten areas which create holes, and you sort of, especially with things like cashmere, you sort of think, oh no, it's ruined my jumper or my top. So I'm just gonna use some of the bits that I've got and try and select areas that I'd like to use. I do really like this bit. It's quite different to the other pieces though, because it's got this bright pink in, which isn't a problem, and it's also got this yellowy orange colour, a bit like a marigold sort of shade. But I do really want to use this. As you can see, like these really look nice on there. So I want to use elements of this one, I think. So what I'll do is I'll find little spots where I might want to, like that's quite nice there, where you've got the, you know, there's this sort of line here, and then you've got the bit more of a lilac-y tone there, and then this one's a bit more of the teal popping through from underneath, so it's quite nice to have a little bit of contrast. So what I'll do is just draw around that. You can use, I'm just being lazy, you know, you could use tailor's chalk, or you could use those flexi pens that erase, that wash away, but I'm just being a bit lazy. I just thought it'd be nice for you to see what I'm doing. Oh, they're little white scissors. I'm using my paper scissors. I've got these gorgeous scissors. They cut through fabric like a hot knife through butter. The thing is with these Kantha fabric, so you've got quite a few layers, and then they've also got the stitching, so I just want to make sure I'm doing a nice shape. Just trim off any bits where I've got a bit of pen on there. Just gonna find a few sort of half moon shapes that I can cut out. Nice there. See what I'm doing. Just going to do a few of these shapes, and then I can place them around the neck and then stitch them down. There we go. So have you ever done any upcycling with your clothes before? I think particularly now, like, sustainable fashion is really, really important. As somebody that used to work in the fashion industry as a designer, I've sort of seen a lot of, you know, what kind of mass production is like, and the impact that it has on the people that make the garments and the countries that they're made in. And I think also, you know, just kind of like the cost of living, it's nice to go back to ways where you're sort of looking after what you've already got, you know, reusing things, giving them an extra long life just by, you know, repurposing things. With clothes, you can repurpose garments, or, you know, you can add elements to them that give them that extra bit of life, which is really, really nice. So you can see there, each piece looks different. It's a different part of the quilt, but it's, you know, really pretty. So let's do a few more. But yeah, if you've ever done any sort of upcycling of your garments before, I'd love to hear, you know, sort of what you've done, or, you know, what kind of sustainable fashion means to you, and how, you know, you've been able to kind of make the most of what you've got, and stopping us going out consuming and buying more and more. I'm sure if you have followed me before, been on the channel, you'll see that I do vintage textile shopping, and I use the things that I buy to, you know, repurpose them so that they're not just going to go into landfill. And that, you know, they're also, it's just that they're so beautiful, and it seems such a shame for things to not be used. And, you know, somebody spent a long time making them, or, you know, putting all their, given, you know, the time that they've given to make these things. It's just really nice to be able to repurpose them, and you get something beautiful to wear at the end. So yeah, I'm just gonna cut a few more of these out. I might just carry on and then speed up the video so that you're not sort of bored of watching me cut out half moon Kantha shapes. Although, to be fair, it's quite a mindful thing to do as well, and it's quite nice and relaxing to watch if you just want something on in the background, and you know, listening to me yabbering away about various different things. But I'll just show you what I mean about how I'm going to use these shapes. So I know that I've got my centre front here, just here. So what I want to do is, I think I want to put them right up to the edge. So I'm going to make sure that each corner is at the edge of the collar, and then I can always cut out the excess afterwards. And then I think I want to go round like this. So this will be the centre front. Like that. I think that would look nice. And maybe do that all the way round. You could do them where they're, you know, you make different shapes. You could do different sizes. But I think that would look nice. What I'll do actually is I'll just pin these down. I can always move them around if I want to. But there's my centre front. I'll just make sure those corners are right on the edge of the jumper. and then they'll sort of be touching like that. I mean, you can also, oops, get a sharper pen. You can also do it where you what was I gonna say? Sorry, I'm losing my thread. I'm getting a bit engrossed in what I'm doing. You could also do it where you make a separate collar that you can just tie on top of the jumper around your neck. But I think this is nice because it means that it sort of stays nicely in position. You're not going to get too much movement. And when I go around and stick them on, when I attach them on and I sew them down, I'll make sure to see that all of the pieces meet nicely and that they're lying in the right position. But it's just to give you an idea. You can see there, I think that looks really cute, and it will look cute. And the thing is, these won't fray, and I don't mind the fact that they've got like the raw edge, because I think it'll just give it, you know, that extra element of handmade and, you know, kind of old charm. Obviously it's got the Kantha stitching through all the layers as well, so that's keeping it together. But I think what I might do is use, I've got, you know, various different wools. You know, these are just bits of ones that I've used before. You know, I could use any of these really to kind of stitch them down, maybe do like a blanket stitch around the edge, or a different type of decorative stitch. The world is my oyster, there's so many options. But I'm just going to crack on now and just cut out a few more of these shapes with the Kantha fabrics, so I've got enough to go all the way around. And then I might film a little bit of me stitching it on, and then I'll show you at the end how it's turned out. Okay, so you can see I'm starting to cut out some more of the half moon shapes, just taking my time. I've left the volume on as well, so you can sort of hear all the little ASMR stitchy details in the background, the scissors and the pins, the pen. I hope you enjoy. So there you can see I've just pinned down all the shapes that I've cut out, the half moons. They're sort of pinned on there roughly, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on there. I thought the back would take maybe more than the front, but that's worked out really nicely. So I've pinned those all down. I'm gonna start from the center front and then just kind of tack them down, or I might just start using some of the yarn to it's probably a bit bright. That's such a bright, I don't think you can see that on here, but that is such a like a neon well, it's ultramarine violet yarn. That's by Madeline Tosh, Unicorn Tails, beautiful yarn. I'm not sure that's vivid enough. This one might work. It's a bit of a, that might be quite a nice way to tack that down, or to stitch it down and give it a bit of a feature at the same time. So let's see what we think. I'm just gonna let you watch this. I'm gonna keep the volume on because I quite like the sounds of the needle popping through the fabric and hearing the various different things on the table that I've got. It's just quite nice and relaxing. Rather than putting music or something over the top, I'll just let you enjoy watching me sew, and I'll see you a little bit later when it's more complete. You can see that I added a lovely buggy lining using some Tana Lawn from Liberty, and there you can see the finished collar, and I just attached a little handmade label. I did have to put an extra little panel in the back there, but I really love it. It's really cute and it looks really nice on as well.